Welcome to another live stream Watchalong reaction. Tonight we're reacting to Nashville SC versus Atlético Ottawa, CONCACAF Champions Cup 2026, round 1, leg 2. 2-0 on aggregate for Nashville. Very likely they're still going to win this game, but there's a little bit of an if in there. Of course, Ottawa would have to score 2 away goals and make it a 2-0 win for them just to get it to extra time. But there's an outside chance of that. I don't think so, but at least this game isn't totally over like some others this round. That we ain't doing today or tomorrow. And then we have to do Thursday because Thursday's the last day of the round and there's only one game on Thursday. So that's the only reason I'm doing the Philadelphia Defense Force match. I'm not going to just cut out Thursday because it's the last game of the round. We have to do it. So do that what you will. Nashville SC contra Atlético Ottawa. La Copa Campeones de la CONCACAF. Primera ronda, partida vuelta, 2-0 global in Nashville. We'll see how this goes. Starting 11s are as follows for Nashville SC. In goal, we have Brian Schwake. The back four of Jordan Knight, Jack Meyer, Thomas Williams, and Josh Bauer. The midfield three of Alex Mouille. We have Brian Acosta and Matthew Corcoran. And the front three of Reed Baker-Whiting, Woobens Pashis, and Ahmed Kassem. So they're starting off with about a weaker starting 11 for the most part. They won 4-1 on the weekend against New England. They won 2-0 in the midweek against Ottawa last week, and they're going to take their chances with a weaker starting 11 for the most part. For Atlético Ottawa, in goal, we have Garrison Innocent, the back three of Tier Walker, Noah Botnay, and Loic Cloutier. The midfield four of Gabriel Antonoro, Manny Aparicio. We have Juan Castro and Emiliano Garcia. The attacking midfield two of Balou Tabla and Jonathan Vial. And up top, we have Erling Michael Boost. We'll go with it. He's new. He must be. He must be new. Mikkel Boost. Must be Norwegian. Must be Norwegian. Game's about to get going and we'll be on our way. Game's on TUDNA and FS2, but I'm using TUDNA because it's the only game I'm live for tonight. LAFC is so over, I'm not covering it. So we're going to live this one, and then we have 2 tomorrow, 8 o'clock, 8:30, seems like, and 10:30 from what I could tell from the CONCACAF timings, but I'll keep an eye on it, see if it starts earlier at 8 and 10, but we'll keep an eye on the Vancouver and Galaxy games. Cincinnati O&M, we are not doing live, and that game, it's 4-0 anyway, so it's a pretty over tie anyway, but when I say Cincinnati needs to win a big game, I'm not talking about that. 5-0 Philadelphia Defense Force, we're still doing it, even though it's the only game on a Thursday, because it's the last game of the round on a Thursday. Let's see if the Trinidadians watch that when it's completely over, but we'll find out. It'd be funny if they did. If there's any game that's totally a dead rubber that there might be good numbers of views on, it would be a Trinidadian team playing against an MLS team. Probably. Knowing this channel, at least. With that being said, this isn't a dead rubber, so to speak. Hell, Vancouver Cartagenas, no, it's not. Galaxy Sporting. Galaxy has the away goal, but they've been sort of garbage, so we'll see. The games we're doing tomorrow night are definitely either-or games. Vancouver could not get an away goal, so they're probably more in danger than the Galaxy, at least on the score bug, the aggregate. But the team is probably more in danger as the Galaxy because they're not as good as Vancouver. But Vancouver they've only scored 1 goal in 2 games. I would have expected more than that, honestly, so for Vancouver. So we'll take a look at that. But with that being said, this game will start. We'll have some fun with it. We'll review it once it's over, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock, 7:55 or 8:25, depending on if the 8:30 from CONCACAF. I don't believe CONCACAF's schedule is more correct than FOTMOB's, but who knows, right? I would assume that CONCACAF has it to the minute, and FOTMOB doesn't. But nope, CONCACAF says 21:30, 23:30. So, yeah, 8:30 and 10:30 tomorrow. Nashville wearing their yellows, their new yellow kits, and Ottawa wearing their black and blue kits, which are also new. So let's look at how this goes. And you can see some of the Champs Cup patches already falling off the sleeves of these players. Lord. Why is CONCACAF so low rent sometimes? Why? But the only game we're live for tonight is this one, and we're going to review it. I'd love to see Ottawa make a comeback. It's in the realm of possibility. It's very unlikely, but it can happen. Come on, Ottawa. Come on, Ottawa. Bring some pride back to Canada. I'm kidding. I'm very proud of the hockey teams, even if they both got silvers. I'm very proud of the hockey teams. At least they didn't embarrass themselves as soon as they won gold. Looking at you, Jack Hughes. Looking at you, Brady Tkachuk, you no-brain having fuck. Dude, you play in Ottawa, you dumbass. And he's the guy who said close the northern border. You no-brain having dumb fuck. Dude, you're the captain of the team from the capital of that country that has a northern border you want closed, you no-brain having dumb fuck. Who, ironically enough, that city is playing in this game. I thought Brady Tkachuk was a dumbass. I didn't realize he had no brain. He might actually be Sloth from whatever movie. Goonies. Yeah, Goonies. Brady Tkachuk might be Sloth from the Goonies. Idiot. And this is why I wanted Canada to win so badly at the Olympics. It wasn't about the gold medal. It was about how much of an asshole that whole team would make themselves out to be when they won. But I'd rather be a team who wins silver and is at least front-facingly unproblematic. I don't know. It's just me. It's just me. Either way. And no, I got smoke for Austin Matthews, too. He's just not dumb enough to be as dumb as Brady Tkachuk. There's a difference. Not having a backbone and not saying a word is a whole lot different than being an open idiot. But, you know, whatever. While being a captain of a Canadian team. Austin might be dumb, but he's not as dumb as Brady Tkachuk. With that being said, 241. I got my other problems with Austin Matthews anyway. The man's damn near washed, and he hasn't played good for 2 straight years. But you know what? The Leafs make it easy to make themselves be hated by their own fans. And it ain't just their playoff exploits anymore. Starting 11 for Nashville, Schweik. Reed Baker, Whiting, Williams, Maher, Bauer for Nashville. Maweel, Acosta, Corcoran. And we got Kassem, Passius, and Knight. I wonder why. Are they rebuilding their stadium again? I don't know. Aparicio and Maher handing off the banners. Selvin Brown, the center ref. I haven't heard anything about this for Arsenal playing games at Tottenham or Wembley. Is it the same reason Tottenham played at Wembley for like a little bit? I didn't hear anything about the Emirates getting revamped or rebuilt or whatever. Guillermo Pacheco's the VAR referee. 1 live tonight, 1 review, 2 lives tomorrow, 1 review, and 1 live, 1 review on Thursday. Then Friday we do the round 1 recap, round of 16 predictions. Innocent in goal for Ottawa. Tier Walker, Abotne, Cloutier, Antonoro, David Castro, Aparicio, Garcia, Tabla, Michael Boost, and Villal for Ottawa. Ottawa has a chance to come back, but it's going to be a little bit tough. But it'd be awesome if they did. Come on, Ottawa. Here we go. Here we go. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get this one going. Sit tight. Or not sit tight. We're going. So it is what it is. Can Nashville hold on to a 2-0 aggregate lead? Ottawa needs a 2-0 win at the very least to go to extra time. 3-1 would still put Ottawa through. As long as they score 3 goals or more, as long as they only allow less than 2, well, no. If they allow less than 1 or they allow 1 or less from Nashville, if they score 3, they will move on to the next round. If they score 4, then they can allow 2 because then they'd have 4 away goals. They couldn't allow 3. But we'll see, and we're off. Ottawa kicks it off. What is this? I mean, I can't listen to it. The Emirates is expanding. Arsenal to move to Wembley. Is the Emirates set to expand? Okay, they're expanding the Emirates. Oh. Well, let's see what happens with that. 102. Okay. So they're remodeling the Emirates to add more seats, which I read a comment that said they built it so they could raise the seats and then push in new seating blocks. But I mean, that's still going to take time. Of course that bastard does. It's Stan Kroenke. Good job, Captain Obvious. And why the fuck would the NHL play in London? They've never even talked about, oh, wait, Global Series. But that's normally Sweden or Finland or countries that actually care about hockey. Now, Britain has a hockey culture, but it's not good. And there's no British players in the NHL, so why the hell would you take them to Britain? Or England? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. Honestly, it's probably more Scotland and Wales anyway. But, you know, there's a couple of English teams. But there's no English player in the NHL. See, the thing about the Global Series is Finland. When they do those in Finland, Finland has players in the NHL. They've done Czechia. They did Russia before Russia became doing Russia what Russia does. They've done Sweden. Those make sense. There are a lot of Swedish, and they always pick a team with some big Finnish or Swedish or Russian or Czechian or example players. Look when the Leafs went to Sweden. The Leafs have William Nylander. So, again, the NHL games, that won't happen unless there's some amazing British player And it doesn't matter where they're from, because as soon as they get that opportunity, they'll probably do it. But even if they're from like Birmingham or something, or they're from Liverpool, that'd be funny. Which that just means the NHL doesn't understand shit about London. Now you're saying, but the NFL plays games in London and outside in Europe and stuff when they don't have players from there. It's a different situation. The NFL wants to grow globally, and they just want to play games outside the world. The NHL does the Global Series as a way to bring back stars from that country to play in their home country, besides playing international tournaments, which normally they don't even play international games in their home country. They play unless that tournament is in that country. Like Italy, of course, played in the Olympics, but that's because the Olympics were in Italy. Now, if there's a World Championships in Sweden, then Swedish players will play in Sweden. That's only once, right? Every so often, because then the IHF World Championships move around and the World Juniors move around and all that. The NHL's different. The NHL, side note, the NHL's different. The NHL does the Global Series for players to have a homecoming, like William Nylander when they did Sweden and such. And Finland, I think they sent the Florida Panthers to Finland because they have a lot of Finnish players. Luostarinen, Lundell, so to speak, as you can tell from when I did the Finland-Canada game, a lot of those players, if their names are familiar, it's probably because they're Florida Panthers. Right, so the way NHL does it's just different than the way the NFL does it. So the only way the NHL would have a game in England is if there was an English player, no matter where from England, in an NHL team. And they were actually very good. They're not going to do that for like a third liner, fourth liner. They got to be like William Nylander, or they got to be at least a star for their national team. Right? And be a solid top 6 or top 4 defenseman or top goalie or some of that ilk. They're not going to do that for a guy who's a freaking extra skater or a bottom 6 forward or a bottom pair defenseman. It's not going to happen. But that's just the way the NHL is. It's different. So I'd never see an NHL game being played in England unless an English player finds his way over to the United States or Canada, either or. I don't believe that's going to happen. I know England has a hockey culture. They're not close enough. It's going to take a long time. And who's to say by the time an English player makes it to the NHL, good enough to make it to the NHL and be a top 6er or a top 4 defenseman or a goalie or a starting goalie, if they even do the Global Series anymore. Like, they normally don't send NHL games to countries that don't have big name players from them. That's never happened, especially regular season, which is now what the Global Series is. It is regular season games. Like, it rarely happens. Let me see. At least recently. I'm sure I think they've played games in Japan and China, but I think one that was preseason and 2. I don't think they've done that since the first lockout. Like the first lockout. So Slovakia, Switzerland, Germany, Czech Republic. Yeah, makes sense. Free kick for Nashville. 7 minutes in, 0-0. They're holding tight so far. Sweden. Switzerland. Header wide. Switzerland, Germany, Sweden, Finland. Germany, Switzerland, Czech Republic, Sweden. Switzerland, Germany, Czechia, Finland. Sweden. Germany, Czech, Finland. Sweden. So every time since they've called it the Global Series, it has been since the second lockout. Sweden, Germany, Switzerland, Finland, Germany, Switzerland, Czechia, Sweden. countries that actually have NHL players in them. Again, that's not England. Not yet. It's going to take a while. And again, it has to be solid players who are actually top 6 forwards or top 4 defensemen or a starting goalie. They're not going to do it for somebody who barely plays like 8 minutes a game. So, yeah, that was a preseason. Nobody cares. That was, okay, yeah, they played a couple of China games in the preseason in 17 and 18, but it is what it is. Oh, yeah, they played in Melbourne. Okay, yeah, that did happen. Okay, the only one they did that was weird, and they haven't done anything since, was Melbourne. Melbourne, Australia. The LA Kings and the Arizona Coyotes played 2 games against each other in Melbourne, and that was a preseason series. So that doesn't count. Well, I don't know. Not to me, at least. That was a preseason series. So if they're going to do it in a country that makes no sense, it's going to be a preseason series. So who cares? Those games barely get televised anyway. So, wow, like that's worth a shit. Like, what? You're telling me that if they go to England and they play a preseason series, say Leafs and Vegas or so, right? Say Leafs in Vegas, right? Or something like that. And I know the Leafs have a big fan base in England and the UK because they do. So you say the Leafs go in the preseason. You think they're going to sell out the Emirates? 90,000 for a preseason series of hockey? You're out of your fucking mind. And I love hockey. The English are not going to go to games that are preseason games, and they're not going to go somewhere that has no connection to the NHL for a regular season series or 2 regular season games. You're out of your mind. You're out of your fucking mind. And that's a cronky. You're out of your mind. Like, it would have to be a preseason series, and I don't think the English are going to sit there and, like, fill out a 90,000 seat stadium. Maybe more because of the way the rink is put. Maybe 95. I ain't going to see it. I don't see it happening. I don't. It's going to be a long time. NFL games, sure. Concerts, sure. The Emirates will definitely host those, knowing how the NFL and concerts work. They will never host an NHL game. Or once they do, I'm going to have gray hair. Because there's not going to be a good NHLer from the UK in the top 6 forwards of a team who's worth a shit, or bottom or top 4 defenseman or a starting goalie of a team who's worth the shit for at least 15 years. That's just the facts. The regular season games for the Global Series get put in places that have real NHL fan bases. And it's that simple. It's that simple. So do with that what you will. Sorry for that tangent, but I just had to say that. And when I said you're out of your mind, I meant Cronky, not you. If you're still here, Daniel. He wants to have a retractable roof as well. Well, that makes sense. I'm not against, so that's probably why it's going to take longer is the roof. Okay, that makes sense. But, yeah, no, there's no way, none, not in the next 20 years there's going to be a hockey game in the UK, an NHL hockey game in the UK played in the Emirates. It's not happening. It's not happening. I'd put my freaking bottom dollar on it. It would take about 20 years. I'd put my bottom dollar on it. I'd put my bottom dollar on it. So do with that what you will. We'll see if I'm right, but, you know. Oh, it's Fanatics Canada. That's why it's a little bit too high. I was like, damn. It's $58 for a hat? You're out of your fucking mind. $58 for a Blue Jays hat? You're out of your fucking mind. Lord, fitted. It's Fanatics Canada, though. That's probably why. Oh. There we go. I mean, I like the 50 season. I like the 50th season hat, but you know. Let's see what the t-shirts are. But either way, playing forward. 0-0, 13th minute. So far, looking good for Nashville. They're holding on. That's all they really have to do is hold on. And that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing is they're holding on. Ottawa hasn't really had many good chances going forward yet, so let's see where that goes. But right now, no. We'll see where this goes, though. Promise David can miss the World Cup. 3 to 6 month injury. Shit. I was at the Ottawa game the day they won the League Cup. Best day of my life as an Ottawa soccer fan. I support Man United too. Respect, respect. Man, that snow game was so cool. Like, if Forge couldn't make the CPL final, I'm glad Ottawa did, and they had that snow game because that was cool. That was cool. It was a good, well, I don't know about a good game, but it was solid. It was cool. But I like to see, it sucks that Forge didn't make it, but Ottawa was just, Forge was on the downturn at that point. Ottawa got him, and then Calvary got him, and they were better at that time, so it's not even, but then again, it would have still been played in Ottawa anyway, so there still would have been a snow game if Forge made it, so. But yeah, no, that was a cool game, and Ottawa did very well last year, and they deserved to win the CPL Cup, North Star Cup. They deserved it, and there were some players that got moves that they deserved, and Ottawa's a good side. Ottawa's a good. I had my feelings about the Ottawa Fury situation. I think they got screwed, and I think Atlético Ottawa. At first, I was glad Ottawa got a team back, but in the way they got it back and then lost the Fury, I had a little bit of it felt a little bit dirty to me. But people have accepted Atlético Ottawa, and Atlético Ottawa's a good run. I think Atlético Ottawa's doing better than if the Fury stayed and just got moved down. I think Atlético Ottawa is doing better than what the Fury would be doing if they got moved down to the CPL. I think, of course, Atlético Ottawa is ran by Atlético Madrid, but they have a good scouting group. They build good squads. They're not just there to make up the numbers. And even when they were crap to begin with as an expansion team, they still tried. But the more I saw Ottawa build something, the more I was like, okay, you know what? I respect this. The more I realized, hey, you know what? Maybe the Fury wouldn't be doing this if they got moved down, but still got to be alive as a club, you know? So I think Atlético Ottawa, they've grown on me. They've grown on me. I never said I hated them, but definitely the way things went down with the Fury, there was a bad taste in my mouth watching that happen. As a Canadian soccer fan, and wanting the best for the game, I thought having the Fury was the best thing for the game. And then Montagliani basically said, screw you, they need to be in the CPL. And they couldn't do that, so they had to fold. And then Madrid came in and then bought a team and put them in Ottawa, which was, I liked that part, but I respected that Ottawa got a team back, but it felt hollow as well. But either way, how we doing, Risklander? Win or lose tonight, I'm proud. Nashville are a good MLS side anyway, so I'm not mad. Ottawa's putting up a good fight. They're keeping Nashville off the score sheet. They still got to score 2 goals at least. But you know what? Ottawa's putting up a good fight. Over the 180 minutes, they've been putting up a good fight. And that's all you can really ask for. And Nashville may be better than I thought. this year, looking at them beating the hell out of the Revolution, which, I mean, the Revs suck, but the Revs are trash, but you still got to be good to beat a team who's trash like the way Nashville did. So they're a good team. That's not a question. The thing is, that's not a question. But Ottawa, you could arguably say Ottawa's better than Revolution because they're only down 2-0 over more than 90 minutes of a game. So you could do that. I would believe that. No. Like, if you played Ottawa against the Revs, I think Ottawa would win at home, and I think they'd at least draw at Gillette. I really do. The Revs are freaking garbage, man. They've been garbage for a while, so that's why you don't fire the coach that makes you good. And we don't even know why they did it. Because if it was something that bad, he wouldn't be coaching the Earthquakes right now. So it couldn't have been that much of a slur, if that's where we're going with it. Because if they allow him to come back into the league to coach the Earthquakes about 2 years later, was it? And they're saying it was some sort of derogatory comment. And then Williams stabbed Bruce Arena in the back and all that. I don't know. That's why you don't fire the coach that brings you success. And you don't let somebody snake him out of the job either. And if they do catch themselves in some hot water, maybe you back them. I don't know. If they're dumb enough to get themselves in hot water, but But I'm saying whatever Bruce Arena did couldn't be that bad. He's coaching the Earthquakes. The division is officially dead. Bronson Reed to miss another WrestleMania back-to-back. Yeah, I saw that. Let It Go Ottawa is way better than Fury. I'm enjoying this team better. Honestly, yeah, I would agree with that. I enjoy watching Ottawa play. I really do. They're a very good side. Very, very good. See how they deal with this rebuild, though. Corner for Nashville. It's still pretty empty at Geodis Park, though. That's just sad. Header cleared away. 0-0, 2-0 on aggregate. Phenomenal. WWE has no vision. I bet everything on Nashville to win. On the night or on aggregate? Because if it's on the night, you might be screwed. I mean, Nashville rotated to a weaker 11. Header in goal! Goal! It counts. It's a goal for Alex Mouille with a tap in. Ay. Damn. That's a bad way to give it up. And that's probably going to give the tie to Nashville. Alex Mouille with a tap in goal. Header. Let's see who it's from. Crossed in. I think it's Pashis who heads it. Yep, it's Woobens Pashis who heads it. Saved by Innocence and tapped in by Alex Mouille. Yep, there you go. So an assist for Woobens Pashis. 22nd minute. 1-0. 3-0 on aggregate. There you go. Goal for Nashville. Their coach, Diego Mejia, was doing good in Juarez and the team fell, but he's very few Mexican coaches left. I think Mejia's a good coach. I really do. And I feel like, he was coaching Juarez. Things can only go so good for so long over there. I think that shows how good of a manager he is, that he had Juarez doing good for as long as he did. For the period that he did. That shows. Juarez had Tuca and they were shit. So what does that tell you? And didn't Miguel Herrera coach Juarez too for a while? And weren't they still shit? Yeah, that tells you exactly what Bravos are. So if they're doing good, that means the coach is good until they fall apart because they still probably don't have the talent. Oh, and Juarez loves signing washed-up players to play for them, thinking that's going to fix the problem. They love signing washed-up Mexican players to play for them because they think that's going to fix the problem. At least I could fix Toronto. I don't think I could fix Juarez. Like, Juarez is unfixable. They're just dumb. Toronto at least has a platform to build on. Speaking of, if you're still here, Roy, can't wait for that round 1 matchup against Ottawa in the Can Champ. Toronto versus Ottawa in the Can Champ. Can't wait for that. You have a chance of beating us, I won't lie. I'm a little bit nervous. Like, Toronto hasn't lost to a CPL opponent yet, even in their bad years. They haven't done that yet. But there's always a time. And Ottawa could be that team. And if it's not them, it's Forge. So, I have a little bit of a... I think we could still beat Calvary. I think Calvary is going to be a bit more pragmatic, but that's going to hurt them in the end. Ottawa and Forge, they can defend as you look what they've done against Nashville and Tigres, but they could also score. I think they have a better chance of scoring than Calvary. I think Calvary will realize, holy shit, we need to score at some point, and then that's just going to... Then they're going to have to push for it. Then you just got to hold on for like 20 or 30 minutes. I have a lot of respect for Tommy Wilden Jr., but I just don't think his system lends itself to an upset. And if we do play him, I think it would be over 2 legs. So I still got to look at the bracket. 1 leg against Ottawa, whether it's home or away, I don't know, man. That's a little bit scary. If it was a 2-legged tie, I still think we'd win overall. But a 1-legged tie against Ottawa, BMO or TV place, I'd be worried. Because one bad night, and you go to penalties, well, I don't trust us on those. Never have. In Toronto. May the better Ontario team win. But yeah, Toronto FC, man. See you soon. Yep. Hopefully I'll see you here for that. Mejia, Coach Juarez, the first Leagues Cup, did great the group stage. LAFC destroyed them. Well, that's LAFC. Acting like that's not a surprise. Tuca Ferretti, too. Terrible way to concede. I agree. Yeah, in Toronto. I thought it was in Toronto, but I had to make sure. That's why I said both. Well, TFC wins then. I'm not so sure. If Robin Fraser's still the manager, I'm not so sure. If they call the Pirate, well, no, we will. But I'm going off the assuming that Robin Fraser is still the manager at that point. I say it's 65-35, but there's still a chance we lose. Well, I mean, he's already bankrolled by the CPL. He's going to do it anyway. He was going to do it anyway because he's bankrolled by the CPL and Toronto's ass. So, I mean, it's easy. It's easy pickings. But, yeah, since an Ottawa fan, there's another wrinkle to it. But he was going to hype him up anyway. Not that I blame him. Toronto's ass. And he's bankrolled by the CPL. And it's not like it's out of the realm of possibility. I mean, Ottawa could beat us. As I said, I'd say it's 65-35. They have a chance. Especially if Robin Fraser's still the manager. If they fire him, I'm sure it'd be to bite the bullet and call the Pirate, I'm sure. If they don't fire him, it's either him or that. Really, let's be real. FYI, Sport Toronto FC and MLS. Oh, you're going to love that game. Well, okay. At least it's not Montreal, which I've seen Ottawa go both ways. When it comes to MLS, I've seen Ottawa go both ways. It's like, I won't say 50-50, but, you know, I've seen people from Ottawa root for Montreal and Toronto when it comes to MLS teams. So, at least you're on the good side. But since Ottawa technically is closer to Quebec, and they speak French and English, you know, I mean, it's understandable. I like TFC since the days of Luke Singh, plus watch them because of Spicer. Man, I think, dude, we did Luke Singh so wrong, man. I thought he had so much potential, man. Then again, we always do the players with potential wrong, and we keep the ones who are shit, like Cozy. Or at least mid. Like, Luke Singh had potential. I think we ruined that. Spicer, we traded him because he was kind of getting greedy. He wanted a bigger contract. We wouldn't give it to him. I would have, but MLSE didn't want to do it because I guess they'd rather have Daniel Shallowy. Now, I like Daniel Shallowy, but would I have kept Spicer if it was up to me? Yeah. I mean, I'll take Daniel Shallowy now. I mean, that's where we are. And I like Malik Henry. And I like Corbianu. But I like Tyrese Spicer. I think he's a very good player, and I think we ruined that as well. But, again, it's not up to me. Now, if there's somebody we got to replace Spicer, I think replacing him with Shallowy and Henry, I'll take it. I'm good with that. If that's what we do, I'm good with that. And I can accept that. But would I have gotten rid of Spicer in the first place? No, I would have given him that damn contract. Now, would it have been as much as he wanted? No. Would it be more than what we wanted to give him? Yeah. Or what MLSE wanted to give him? Yeah. It'd be in the middle. And I think he would have taken that. Legitimately, I think he would have taken that. But I think he wanted a little bit more respect. And they're like, well, we're calling your bluff. Fuck off. Go to Orlando. Fuck off. What, you couldn't even give him half of what he wanted? Like, I mean, was it a bit egregious for a guy who was just a rookie? I mean, yeah, it was kind of egregious, but, you know, unless we were trying to open up cap space, which, I mean, we did do that, but, you know, it was egregious, but, you know, half of that's not as egregious. Damn, bro. Damn. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. I can only imagine. Bro. Man. That hurts to hear. I'm praying for you, man. Sending love to you. May the Lord protect your soul on our way to heaven. May the Lord protect your family. And give your family strength in this time. We love you, man. We love you. We love you, man. I may actually feel like I'm about to tear up, man. Shit. We love you. We love you, man. I could only imagine. Man, I know I'd be devastated. I know I'm going to be devastated and destroyed when my mother goes. So may that be 30 years from now. I hope that's the case for my sake. But my mom could definitely empathize with you. I mean, my mom lost her mother unexpectedly in the summer, and you know that. She could empathize with me. I couldn't even imagine. Well, I know what I'm going to be like I know what it's going to be like for me when my mom passes. Even if it is in 30 years and she's old as hell. I'm still going to be destroyed. If she just passed out of nowhere, shit, no, fuck. God, I couldn't even imagine. If it was like how my mom's mom went and my mom went that way, shit, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Even if it was just natural causes like 80-some, I'd still be fucking destroyed. So, I mean, I guess I can empathize, but it hasn't happened to me yet. But I know how I'd feel when it does. So, and depending on, even if it is just, it was coming, I'd still be. So, man, fuck, man. Fuck. God. Yeah, I have no clue either. He'd still be good enough for Trinidad. Good. Yes. Condolences. We love you, man. We love you, man. We love you, Dillon. And all our love to your family as well. No problem. Yep. I'll be praying for you too, man. 1-0 Nashville. Shit, I don't know where to go from there. I really don't know where to go from there, man. Shit, man. Shit, that. Damn. I don't know where to go from there. I really don't. Ay, ay, ay. Cleared away. Man, I don't even know. I mean, I know why I'm tearing up, but I'm surprised. Trying not to cry out, tear up on camera. Fuck, man. I don't know how you come back from that. Oh. I don't know how you turn that around. I don't know how you turn this back around from that. Jeez. You just got to sit with it, really. Yeah, I guess you just got to sit with it. Playing forwards Nashville. Oh, man. I could only imagine. I could only imagine. I could only imagine. I know how Dillon feels. Well, I can imagine how Dillon feels because, yeah, if my mom passed early and unexpectedly, shot for Nashville, that's a goal. 2-0. And that's Knight who scores. 2-0, 4-0 on aggregate. Yeah, like if my mom passed unexpectedly and younger, I'd be fucking destroyed. Like, I'd be destroyed. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think anything would ever be the same. I don't. If she died in 30 years, if my mom died in 30 years and she was 80, and it was just coming, you know, and it was like natural causes, I'd still be fucking destroyed. You know, I'd still be destroyed. I could probably handle it better, but if my mom went like her mom, I'd be utterly destroyed. I'd be cooked. I don't know what. So, I mean, I understand how Dillon's feeling. I hope I don't have to feel that feeling for a long time. But it's not about me. So, I'm just saying. I can sympathize. I guess that's the word. I can't empathize, and I hope, so to speak. Right? Because empathize means you went through it. Sympathize means you know how it would feel if you did go through it. You know what I'm saying? If you've went to school, you understand that, right? Unless you didn't listen in language or whatever. But empathize means you've gone through it, so you know how it feels. sympathize means you haven't, but you probably know how it would feel if you did go through it. My mom can empathize with Dillon. I only can sympathize. For example. Because I know sympathize, saying I can't empathize, but I can sympathize, some people might sound bad, which if it does, it's because somebody wants my head on a damn silver platter, and that's about, they'll use anything you can get. But goal for Nashville. That was goal for Knight. Yep. Jordan Knight. Oh, he's Canadian. Look at that. A Canadian scored in Ottawa. Well, look at that. Jordan Knight's Canadian, scored against a Canadian team. Not so patriotic of you, eh? Not so patriotic of you. 2-0. Well, I think it was already game after the first one. 36-minute. Not so patriotic of you, Jordan. Agreed. Yes. That's why I don't understand why it's bad to be called a mama's boy. I don't like. Oh, he played for Columbus Crew 2, then Huntsville, then Nashville. Okay. He's never played in Canada. All right. See, that's why I don't understand why it's bad to be called a mama's boy. I don't. Because you're going to feel a connection to the person who carried you for 7 to 9 months or however long you were in the womb and birthed you and breastfed you, if they did. Like, and you're half their DNA. Like, you're going, if they're in your life, you're going to share that connection. I don't understand why, seriously, I don't understand why it's bad to be a mama's boy. Because, to be frank, I am. To be frank, I am a mama's boy. And that's not to say, like, I mean, you know, my dad's on the streams, and I mean, I got my looks from him, as I said. I got my brain from him, my no filter from him, my sense of humor from him. All that, right? But it's different. Like, it's different. And I'm not saying, and just because I'm a mama's boy don't mean I'm a pansy. I don't think so. But I think it's just a different, I don't think there's any, now, yeah, I mean, there are some mama's boys that are pansies, and that probably gives it a bad look and everything. But I don't, and that's probably why it gets the bad rap it does, but I don't think that makes any sense. Like, anybody who says being a mama's boy is a bad thing, I think that's a bad thing. I think that's a red flag, honestly, for a woman or a man. Like, if a woman shits on a man for being a mama's boy, I think that's a red flag. If a man shits on a man for being a mama's boy, that's a red flag. I think either or it is. Either way it is. Because if a woman sees a man as a pansy for being a mama's boy, that means they don't really have any motherly instincts at all. Because if you have motherly instincts, even if you don't have a kid, you'll see, hey, I can see why a boy would be a mama's boy. Same for a man. I think it shows they don't know how to truly love. And I think that shows they won't be a good husband or a partner. Because, and they're not, I think if you're not a mama's boy as a man, and you're with somebody who doesn't respect that, you don't have a good partner. If you're a man who's not a mama's boy, you're not going to be a good partner. So, suffice it to say, yes. Yep. So that's enough about that. I think it's a red flag if you hate on a mama's boy from any gender, either gender, and I think that shows you if you really should have a relationship or have kids or get married or so on and so forth. Do I know things are fucked out there? Yeah, for sure I do. For sure I do. But I don't know. Either way, I think it's a good point. I don't know. I think it's a good point. I agree with that. Like, yeah, no, I won't lie. If my mom likes who I'm with, I know I'm good. Well, shit, my dad does too. I think I know I'm good. But either way, if my mom don't like who I'm with, yeah, no, I probably shouldn't be with them. You know that song "More Hearts Than Mine" by Ingrid Andress? If that's how my relationship feels, that if I'm with somebody, that if I break up with them, it feels like they're going to break everybody's heart, not just mine. That's where you want to be. And if it goes to shit, it goes to shit. But, you know, it's a good song. But it's written from, of course, it's written from the viewpoint of a woman. But it makes sense in general to me. Because I feel like if that would be my family. But either way. Either way. But no, I think, I mean, I agree with you there as well. '45th minute. So. Two minutes of stoppage time. So, well, that's where it could get a bit tricky. I mean, that's where it could get a bit tricky. If you mean like the way your mom acts, they carry those traits. Like they carry like those traits of like if your mom has a good soul, which I'm sure from what I can tell, it sounds like she does, but like if she has a good soul, she cares, she's loving, she carries those traits, like things you find comfortable, fine. If she looks like your mother, weirdly, that's where it gets a little bit fucked for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like if they act like your mom and those traits feel comfortable, fine. They look like her, that's where you got me fucked up. That's where you got me fucked up. And I wouldn't do that per se. Kasem going forward. I wouldn't, but like, yeah, the traits that feel comfortable, of course. No problem with that. Kind of favoring your mom? Like same hair color, same face shape, same like recognizable features, then you kind of got me fucked up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Saved. God bless everyone. You never know when the last day will come. Give your love to your family and friends while they're still here. Amen. Amen. Exactly. And it's halftime. 2-0 at the half, 4-0 on aggregate. We'll still be live for the second half and review this game. Hopefully we get to a little bit more positive of a level, a vibe. But during the second half, but that's We'll see. We'll see. Nashville, the better team, but you kind of expected that one. Nashville, 45 minutes away from going to the round of 16 of the Champions Cup. Sort of expected, but either way. I'm really sorry for Dillon. I've never experienced losing someone close to me yet, but my cousin, who's only 11 years old, she recently lost a father. It's not easy at all. I mean, I can understand how Dillon feels at the level of, like, grandparents, because I've lost all four of the people I would call my grandparents. My mom's biological dad is still alive. That's a fucking cruel joke from the universe, but that's not my story to tell. But my pop died. I was 11. He had Alzheimer's, and that was tough to watch. My dad's mom and dad, my nana and pop, lived with us until they both passed. So, I mean, I lived with my nana and pop in the house most of my life. So, I feel like it's fine to have the grandparents around. So, I look at it like, so I would love to have my mom and dad close. And also, whenever I get married, I would love for my future wife's mom and dad to be close as well. That's why I would love to have a farm with a family compound on it. Because, like, the same house, that might be pushing it. Same, like a central house where everybody can hang out, but they also have their own quarters. That might be a little bit easier to push. But either way, that might be a little bit easier to push. But either way, it was helpful to have my nana and pop around. But either way, my pop died when I was 11. He had Alzheimer's. I saw him turn into a damn shell of a man. Couldn't speak. Barely could eat. God, that was horrible. And turns out Alzheimer's is hereditary, so my dad will probably have it, and I'll probably have it. So that's just awesome. I hope not. I hope it skips both of us. I hope if it didn't skip my dad, I hope I don't have to see him have it, as in, if he does have it, I hope he passes before it gets to that point that it did with Pop. I mean, Nana also had dementia as well at the end there, but not to the same level, but, you could tell. It may have just been because she was old, but either way. That doesn't really make me feel any more comfortable, but yeah, my pop, Alzheimer's ruined him. It ruined him. And I'll never forget this, but on Thanksgiving morning in 2011, he died. I'll never forget that. And that's when we found him. Fallen off the bed and all that. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. Lost my Nana, a few months before I graduated high school. Of course, my mom's stepfather died back in 22. And then, of course, my mom's mom just died last year. And y'all know that one. Some of y'all have been here when, maybe some of y'all were here when my Nana went and passed, but some of y'all were here when my mom's stepdad died. Now, the cruel joke is my mom's biological dad is still alive. That's a cruel fucking joke. But completely. Because none of the four that are dead, Nana, Pop, Meemaw, and Earl, none of them deserve to be gone. But that rat bastard is still, yeah, sure. It's not my story to tell, though. Even though there's a portion I could tell, but it doesn't really make any sense unless you get the part. That's my mom's story to tell. And then I could tell the extra portion that connects to me, that makes me hate that guy even more. Which does connect to Nana and Pop, but that's enough about that. That is a fucking horrible, that is a cruel, sick joke. But my mom's biological dad is still alive. And my mom's even said it, so it's not like I'm saying anything wrong. She's even said it. It's a cruel fucking joke. But, it just shows you the good, Billy Joel was right. Only the good die young. I wouldn't say my Nana was that young, but comparatively. But yeah, Billy Joel was right. The good normally get the worst outcomes. The shitty people are the ones who don't. But then again, I guess you could see that with the government, because look at how many freaking dinosaurs are in the government, right? Look at that, right? Because they're scum, that's why. If you root for Toronto, you hate Montreal. If you root for Mississippi State, you hate Ole Miss. It's that simple. You were born to hate them. They're scum. Ole Miss are scum, and CF Montreal are scum. You were born to hate them. I chose this. I wasn't, because then TFC came around when I was 7 years old. I was not born to do this, but I chose this. You were born to do this. Now, of course, I was born to hate Ole Miss, but that's neither here nor there. But no, you're supposed to hate them, so hate them. So do with that what you will. But I wonder where I fucked up. And it ain't gonna be because, I would assume, it ain't gonna be because of my wife either. Because well, I don't think I'm marrying a Yankees, Arsenal, and Montreal fan, but Arsenal's probably the least of my worries. I would wonder where I fucked up. I would wonder where I fucked up if they did. With that being said, we'll take a short break, talk about the stats of the half, get this one going, sit tight, 2-0, and it's 4-0 on aggregate. Sit tight, be back. Sit tight, be back. 45 more minutes. We'll talk about the stats and all that. Sit tight, be back. Back for the stats, the half. I would rather go to Europe to see Conference League final match for free with all expenses paid or go to the MLS Cup final. MLS Cup final. I'd rather pay to go to the MLS Cup final. Well, okay. Question. What country is the Conference League final in? Like, what country is it in? If it's in Italy, okay, I might go there free. I might go there. Now, you know what? Either way, if it's Italy, I might go there free. If it's like Hungary, I don't give a rat's ass. Portugal, I could go there free. Stats the half. 45% possession to 55% possession. 6 shots to 1. 3 shots on goal to 0. 213 accurate passes, 88%. 276, 91%. We got 4 corners to 1. 9 fouls to 5. 6 shots to 1. 3 shots on goal to 0. 243 passes to 302. 88% pass accuracy to 91. 8 throws to 6. 9 touches to 8. 1 offside to 0. 0 yellow cards 0. 0 red cards 0. 2-0 at the half. Nashville scored 2 goals. Ottawa's been pretty good defensively, but other than that, it's not what it is. They haven't done enough. But, I mean, Ottawa's fought hard, but Nashville has done just enough to win overall so far. I think that's pretty much where we are. I mean, Nashville's done enough. Ottawa was tough, but in the end, wasn't meant to be. Wasn't meant to be for Ottawa. Of course, we have another 45 minutes, but, you know, I'm sure it'll get a little bit more ugly. Probably headed on. See how close Ottawa keeps it. Cleared away. But I would say, personally, if it was in Italy, I'd like to do both. How about that? If the Conference League final was in Italy or like Portugal, I would do both. Go to an MLS Cup final, all expenses paid, but also go to a Conference League free. I would do both. If it's a country like Hungary, I could give a shit else. Just give me the MLS Cup final. Depends. I'd gladly travel to Europe. Like, I would gladly travel to Europe and vacation there. I never said I wouldn't do that. Wanting to vacation in Europe and wanting to coach in Europe or play in Europe are 2 different things. Like, I would gladly vacation in Europe. In most countries in Europe. There are other countries I wouldn't want to see as much, but, you know. What if the finals in London? I don't see myself really wanting to go to vacation in England. Don't exactly. Nah, I really wouldn't want a vacation in London. I really wouldn't. It's not really my cup of tea. I don't think there's anything really fun there to vacation about, you know. Ireland, on the other hand, gladly. I mean, I do have Irish blood. Scotland, I'd vacation there. London itself, England itself, no. Playing forward, Ottawa holding on. I mean, you know, we'll see how the rest of this game goes. But right now, holding on. Damn. Lando had the fastest lap a couple of times, and his freaking engine didn't even hit 326 miles per hour. Well, you're telling me the Honda engine hit 326? GP2 engine? GP2? I don't even... Anyone have this in Freedom units? Well, unless that's just the Mercedes power unit itself. But I still wouldn't think that's McLaren's fastest lap. Each power unit. Okay, well, that makes sense because Mercedes is McLaren and Alpine. And yeah. Oh, that makes way more sense. Okay, that makes way more sense because it's okay. So that's why Honda's 326. I still can't believe it hit 326 kilometers per hour. That's nuts. Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. No. 213 miles per hour, 210 miles per hour, 209, 203, 202. God, Honda is horrible. GP2 engine, GP2. Yeah, fucking right, dude. 49th minute. Speaking of, can't wait till March 7th. We'll be live at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Central for the Australian Grand Prix. It'll be the 8th in Australia, but of course it's the 7th over here. So don't worry, we'll be doing some Formula One. Don't worry. I mean, if you see that Lando, boom. I wonder. Oh yeah, okay, you do. Yeah, we'll do some Formula One. Don't worry. If you like Formula One, we'll be here. Shot save. If y'all like Formula One or just like to watch me be live, yeah, sure, but don't worry, we'll do a lot of Formula One coverage this year. I don't know about every Grand Prix, but we're gonna get a lot of them out of the way. Don't worry. At least, what, 18 of the Grand Prix of the 24, probably? We'll see what happens there. At least 18 of the Grand Prix will be live for, and then review, or at least live. Probably, what, 16 or 15 reviews out of those 18? That'd be cool, but no. Worst case, I could double it by being on F1 TV. Any next pro games this year? Probably not. Unless Toronto FC2 makes the playoffs. I mean, we've done a couple of TFC2 games when they were in the playoffs that one time. I tried to do an MLS Next Pro regular season game. Then there was severe weather that day that freaking ruined it, around me that ruined it, so. I would like to do more MLS Next Pro games, but we'll see how that plays out. I would love to do more Toronto FC 2 games, but we'll see how that plays out. 51st minute. But, shot wide. Bodo Glimt won again in the Champions League. Nathaniel James looking good for North Texas in preseason. Told you that was a good idea of a move. Told you that was a good move for him. .53rd minute. Still 2-0. Nashville. Pretty calm. .53rd minute. Oh, that would suck. 2-0, 4-0 on aggregate. $3-0. Nashville playing forward. Here it is. Did I drop that fall behind? Oh, Passius! Wolff scores! Scored in both legs. There you go. 3-0. Well, that's good. 2 Canadians scoring against a Canadian team. Not so patriotic of you. Wolff. At least Wolff has a freaking reason. He played Ottawa a lot in the CPL. Still feels like he's probably on Forge, considering he played in Forge's stadium. Either way, last week scored 3-0. What a shot. Rebound, and then Passius, boom. There you go. Gets talented. What can I say? 54th minute, 3-0, 5-0 on aggregate. Ooh, love it. I'm sure that's what's going to happen if he's good enough, whether it is he plays for Dallas or somebody else. 55th minute. I'm sure that's what it is. 3-0. 5-0. 5-0 on aggregate. There you go. Passius, boom. Scored 1 in both legs. 2 goals in the tie. Good for him. 2 Champs Cup goals for Wolff Passius. I don't think he ever thought that was going to be possible. Hey, I bet he's proud of himself. That's probably his chance, was this tie. You know, so we'll take that, you know. Damn. $3-0 for Nashville, 5-0 on aggregate. Corner. Playing forward. How we doing, soccer guy? How we doing? I'm personally doing good. Is anyone watching the State of the Union? No. I could care less. And frankly, I don't want to see Austin Matthews' face pop up during the State of the Union. Or Kachuk's or any of those hockey players, really. But personally, yeah, I'm doing good, soccer guy. But if you read the chat, I got a Mountain Dew. I got a Mountain Dew, code red. It is a red can, but either way. Like, look at the chat. Dillon gave us some really sad news, but personally, I'm doing fine. Habibullah coming on, and Kozlovsky coming on for Ottawa. But it did hurt to hear Dillon's news. Or read it, I guess. Well, I mean, I needed to drink an energy drink to stay up for most of the day on Sunday. I mean, I've been drinking like Coke cherry floats and regular Cokes. It just hasn't happened during the stream. Because also I had like 5 boxes of Mountain Dew, Baja Blast, and like 2 Baja Blasts and like 3 Code Reds. And it's just been in the order if I wanted to drink the Mountain Dews in the middle, because I guess there's more caffeine in it. I don't know. Either way, it's just been the way things have played out. It's still being drank. It's not that I hate it. I still drink Coca-Cola during the day, but I think I drank one during like one of the earlier games that I didn't drink a freaking the energy drink for. But either way. Like we had like what it was like buy 2 get 3 free or whatever, like Mountain Dew, and I'm like, yeah, buy a couple of. Let's get a couple of Baja Blasts and Code Reds, either way. So I'm working through those. I still have a full box of Code Red and still a good bit of Baja Blast. And 1 Code Red left in a box that I already have open. So. Once those get cleared out, don't worry, it'll be back, I'm sure. The Coca-Cola, whether it's a regular cherry or cherry vanilla, or a vanilla or cherry float, whatever. Don't worry. Coca-Cola is awesome. I agree. Or maybe I have a case of Dr. Pepper that'd be funny. I haven't had Dr. Pepper in a while. We'll see. Either way. Yeah, I'm starting to get tired of Mountain Dew at this point. See what happens with Dr. Pepper, whether it's the cream soda or the regular Dr. Pepper. We'll see. Dr. Pepper is better than Pepsi. Coca-Cola, number 1 for sure. I know Mountain Dew is a Pepsi drink, but if Pepsi's in a glass bottle or a plastic bottle, it's better. Like, there was one time where I had Pepsi in a can and it was just, the aftertaste was tinny, and I can't ever do it again. It may not even be like that anymore, but, it was 1 can that ruined it. So, either way. $62 minutes. Out. Like for me, it's Coca-Cola, then Dr. Pepper, then like Big Gap Pepsi, and it depends on what it's in. Like, if it's at a restaurant, I'm fine with it because it's in a plastic cup or a glass cup, either or. From a fountain or a soda gun. And I mean, really, you can't drink soda at a freaking restaurant if it ain't Pepsi, because a lot of restaurants is like, is Pepsi okay? I'm like, I mean, yeah, I guess so. Sure. It's not. I just say Coca-Cola. Like, is Pepsi okay? I'm like, okay. Like, I'm not going to remember which ones have Pepsi and which ones have Coke. It's just not. Which is weird because I probably could if I wanted to, but I won't. 63rd minute. Goal! Nashville scores again. 4-0. 4-0 Jack Marr. Jack Marr scores. 4-0 Nashville. 6-0 on aggregate. Well, this just got ugly. Damn. Nashville's putting them to the sword. Do they really need to do that? Damn. Oh, no, it's an own goal. Acosta, header. No, Maher had the header. It was going on target anyway, even if it touched somebody. So, Jack Maher, 63rd minute. It's so awesome to see Nashville actually play football instead of haram ball. That's awesome. How do you get a lot of subscribers, viewers, etc. to get monetized and get paid? Just make content regularly. People watch the content. I mean, streams get me more. Normally, it's the streams that get me more subscribers than the videos. If I get like a big bulk of subscribers, it normally comes from the streams. Like, there are videos that get a lot of subscribers, but those are videos that get a lot of views. Like that's, it's kind of hard. Like, you got to make good videos. You got to be entertaining. You got to hold people's attention. And I think the streams are more timely, so they get more views. Or if the streams do, or at least for a while there, I mean, streams seem to get more subscribers than videos. But at least when I was at the beginning, when I was really trying to get to monetization and all that, and even a year or two after that, it seemed like the streams got more subscribers than the videos. But I would still say overall, it's about the amount. I still think streams get more likes and not exactly more views all the time, but yeah, well, they've already they confirmed the Sargent signing, or they got the right of first refusal away from St. Louis. They got his rights, so they can proceed with the signing. But it was just Sargent. More news about Sargent. That's what it was. Because other than that, why'd Ottawa get rid of? I think he wanted to leave. He wanted to move on. And unlike Forge, Ottawa let him move on happily. Was that a bad decision for Ottawa? Yeah, but they're also playing an MLS team. Give this new guy a couple of games against CPL position or CPL competition and see where you go from there. Now, you could say, well, but the Forge keeper, but the new Forge keeper, Berteau, he did amazing against Tigres. He only allowed 2 goals. Or no, he allowed 4, my bad. Berteau did pretty well, all things considered, against Tigres. I mean, he did better than this innocent guy against Nashville. That is true. But, again, Berteau will be amazing in the CPL. I'll say that much. But he played in Europe. This new guy, let him play CPL competition and see how good he does. Give him a couple of games. This is an MLS team. Hell, he might play better against Toronto than he does Nashville. It wouldn't shock me. Who wins CCL this year? I got Miami. I'm sticking with Miami. Yeah, the LAFC game looked bad, but I'm sticking with Miami. I'm sure they'll find a way to get rolling by and Corbianu got a surgery, of course. So Corbianu's going to be out for a while. He just got a surgery. Jesus fuck, man. It's on TUDN. Why? It's the second or third time in TFC, or at least that I know of, that a player has been injured during the offseason and doesn't get the surgery until right when the season starts. Oh my God. Why do we do that, man? Ay, ay, ay. Corbianu's out for a while. Well, that's good for Daniel Shallowy, I guess. Lord. Let's go for Malik Henry and Daniel Shallowy, I guess. What's the score? 4-0 Nashville, 6-0 on aggregate. 69th minute. So. No way. Nashville's winning. No way. They're making a Backrooms movie? Are you kidding me? No. Thank you, soccer guy. Thank you. You're kidding me. You're telling me that the Backrooms from Gary's mod, Backrooms from Gmod got a movie. Who the fuck is a CPL like USL? It's the Canadian First Division, technically, but I would say it's closer to USL level, not to MLS level. I mean, look at this. Yeah, I would say football, like, quality-wise, USL, but it is technically Canada's #1 division because the MLS teams are Division 1 teams, but they're an MLS. But MLS is not Canada's #1 division. I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to explain. But, I mean, yeah, I would, quality-wise, yeah, I would say so, but it is Canada's main top division. It is. Because the MLS teams are seen as Canadian teams playing in a US league. So they are First Division teams, but they're not Canadian First Division teams. Well, hold on. They're First Division teams that are in Canada, but they're not Canadian First Division teams. You see what I'm saying? The CPL is the true Canadian First Division with 3 MLS teams who were made before the CPL ever started, and they can't really push them down to the CPL. Like, I guarantee you, like, you see what they did to the Ottawa Fury? Like, you see what they did to the Ottawa Fury? If they could push the MLS teams to CPL, they'd find a way to do it. Huh. So it is, but it isn't. It's kind of... Substitution for Ottawa, 72 minutes. Shot. No way he did. Playing forward. 4-0. 6-0 on aggregate. Nashville leads with 18 minutes to go. Who's the top dog in the CPL? Forge. Well, Ottawa is the defending CPL Cup champions, but Forge won the league regular season. But Forge has the most CPL trophies in the league's history. So if you go historically, it's Forge. Currently, yeah, Ottawa. But Forge did better in Ottawa. You hit the like button. Let's get this one going, y'all. Come on. So, Ottawa won the CPL Cup last year when Forge won the CPL Shield, which is like the supporter shield, which is winning the league and not the playoff, but, you know. Forge, historically, is the CPL's top dog. Currently, if you want to go by the current champions of the Cup, well, it's either Forge or Ottawa. I mean, if you think the Shield means more, which I look at it like it doesn't, you know, the Supporters Shield or North Star Shield means nothing. Like, yeah, you had the most points during the season. You get number 1 seed in the playoffs. But if you don't finish the job, why does it matter? You know, like, okay, you were consistent until when it came time for the playoffs. Like, if you're the number 1 seed and you don't win the championship, what does it fucking mean? Like, the Broncos, like, for example, the Broncos in the NFL. The Broncos were the number 1 seed in the AFC, but they didn't make the Super Bowl. Doesn't matter they were the number 1 seed. They don't even get a better draft pick than the Patriots. Like, cool, they won 1 more game than the Patriots. Well, actually, no, they did not. The Patriots had the same record. They went to Denver because the Raiders beat the Patriots. And the Patriots won 1 more game than the Broncos because the Patriots gave the Broncos that loss. Or I guess they had the same record, but head-to-head, the Patriots did beat the Broncos. Either way, if you finish top of the table, does it matter if you don't win the main trophy? Now, that may be, well, it is an American way of looking at it, but the President's Trophy, nobody cares about who wins the President's Trophy in the NHL, which is like the Supporter Shield for hockey. The best team in the NHL wins the President's Trophy. Who cares when you don't win the Stanley Cup if you won the President's Trophy? And there's a curse about that as well. If you win the President's Trophy, you rarely win the Stanley Cup because you've been playing at such a high level and you got to play another 16 games at the very least. And hockey's a war. Nahar coming on and Yazbek for Nashville. Why are they bringing them on? Game's over. Why? That's a choice. But either way, like, hockey is a sport where it's hard to be consistent in the best team for 82 plus games, whether that be 92, 98 games plus. It's hard to do. And then, of course, when there's seasons with the MLS or with the Olympics, the Olympics and the Four Nations, and those players are playing over there, and I'm sure some of them are on the President's Trophy leading team, and they got to play about 100-some games, 100-plus-some games. Of course it's hard to win the Stanley Cup as a President's Trophy team. Hockey is a freaking hard sport. It is a sport. New York Rangers won the President's Trophy in 2024. What happened? Did they win the Cup? No, they didn't. My point exactly. The Capitals won the President's Trophy last year. They did not win the Cup. Florida won the President's Trophy in 22. They got knocked out in the first round. Then next year they were a wild card with Paul Maurice and then somehow made the Stanley Cup. I don't know which one's going to stick in my craw more. Leafs versus Panthers 2023 or Leafs Panthers 25. I don't know which one's going to stick in my craw more. Which one was more of a missed opportunity? I don't know. Because we got to Game 7 in 25, and we won the freaking division, and we had home ice. But we played them in 23 thinking we had home ice because they were a wild card team. And we thought we had a better chance of winning because they weren't the Boston Bruins. Well, that ended horribly. I don't know which one's more of a freaking missed opportunity. I don't know. I think they both are. Like, I think it has to be last year's. I think it has to be last year's is more the missed opportunity. Has to be because the Leafs were half a game away from having a 3-0 series lead against the Florida Panthers. All they had to do was win one more game, which they won Game 6. So if they would have won Game 3, they would have won the series, and they would have moved on to the conference finals and probably the MLS or the Stanley Cup finals. And now we suck. Now we're not even in the playoff hunt. Playing forward, 80th minute. Six drivers eliminated in Q1, 6 drivers eliminated Q3 or Q2, then top 10 shootout Q3. 18 minutes, 15 minutes, 12 minutes. In regular quali, sprint quali in F1, 12 minutes, 22, 6 eliminated SQ1, 10 minutes, 16 drivers, 6 eliminated SQ2, 8 minutes, 10 drivers, top 10 shootout for sprint quali. Okay. Top 10 still get points in the main race. No extra points on the list. I feel like P11 should get points at least. They will all still try to do a lap in the last 3 minutes. Monza will be a feast to watch. 81st minute. Monaco Q1 going to be wild. 81st minute. Shot save. Oh! Man, I thought that was about to be a... Do you think Toronto would smoke Forge? No. We can beat them over 2 legs, and I think we would, but it wouldn't be pretty. Especially if Robin Fraser's still the manager. We could win, and I think we would on talent, but it wouldn't be pretty. We wouldn't smoke them, that's for sure. New York Rangers won the President's Trophy in 24. Now they're one of the worst teams in the NHL. So you know how the Leafs feel. Session Q1 eliminated Aston Martin and 4 others. Cleared out by Ottawa. I'm surprised I won a goal. 83rd minute. Wow. Audi, Cadillac, and Aston. Only one of them will have a driver advance. This is the new game. We'll see what happens there. Playing forward, crossed over. Here's Nashville, 4-5. Goal. Puts it away. And that's a goal for Nashville. 5-0. 7-0 on aggregate. NHL, MLS, NBA. NHL, the Stanley Cup playoffs are still the best playoffs ever. It's like, it ain't. The Stanley Cup playoffs are the best playoffs, bar none. Then MLS, then NBA, even if the Raptors are in. Kassem scores, 83rd minute. Kassem, Abdul Kassem, or Ahmed Kassem. Ahmed Kassem scores. My bad. I should have checked first. Goal. I should have checked first before I said anything. Ahmed Kassem scores 5-0 in the 83rd minute. That should be the last goal. 5-0 on the night, 7-0 on aggregate. Damn. 84th minute. I didn't know his name off the back of my head, and that might just bite me in the ass. Oof, Manon. But no, NHL is going to be the best playoffs, then the MLS, then the NBA. '85th minute. Oh, Turkish GP will be back in 2027. All right. That's good. TFC might smoke Ottawa. Sure. '86th minute. This is embarrassing. Nashville might actually be really good. In Toronto, well, I think basketball playoffs is losing its shine from the Kobe days. Because basketball, they don't give a shit about defense even during the regular season. They don't care. They don't care about playing defense. They just want to shoot threes. You know, Ottawa forwards ain't that bad. Their defense, though. You know what's sad? If Toronto loses to Ottawa at home, if we do, we're going to look so fucking embarrassed because people are going to look at the Nashville score and be like, oh, they lost 2 games in Nashville and got blanked, and you lose to them? Whether it's on penalties or out of regular play. Oh, Lord. Oh, fuck. Man, I hope we smoke them. I hope Toronto smokes them. Because if we don't, God, how embarrassing would that be? I mean, it's not it will probably be our lowest low. It couldn't possibly be any lower. It's got to be one of our lowest lows. It's got to be one of our lowest lows if we do shit. Oh, damn. But 5-0, 87th minute. We will review this game. And Ottawa, they started tough, but they fell apart late in the second half. So, I mean, we'll do with that what you will, but hopefully there's no stoppage time. That would suck. We'll be live twice. We'll be live twice, 8:30 for Vancouver versus Cartagenas, 10:30 for Galaxy Sport in San Miguelito. '88th minute. Forge going for the treble this year out of all the Canadian teams. They look better than TFC. Yeah, Vancouver's a big elephant in the room, though. You do realize. I mean, yeah, Vancouver doesn't look good yet, but I'm sure they'll come together. They got enough talent on their team to they already bodied Forge once now. Only Whitecaps better. Okay, there we go. I was like, yeah. Whitecaps may not look good now, but let's give it a couple of games. Thank God they have a meaningful CCL game tomorrow. Because guess who Vancouver plays this weekend? Guess who? I wouldn't give a crap if they had a meaningful game if they weren't playing a certain team. Guess who they're playing? Yeah, Toronto. Toronto is playing Vancouver this weekend. In Vancouver. It's a good thing Vancouver has a meaningful CCL game. And hopefully Cartagenas keeps it close to where they can't pull out their best players by like the half or 60th minute. I know Cartagenas is going to lose, but I hope they keep it close within like the first 70 or 80 minutes, And it's full time. 5-0 full time. Nashville wins 7-0 on aggregate. They're moving on to the CONCACAF Champions Cup round of 16. This got ugly. Damn. I will review the game once it's over. We'll be back within the hour for the review. I'll have the stream up for later on Rumble for tomorrow. And we'll be back after the review. We'll be back tomorrow at 8:25. Unless it starts earlier, but I wouldn't think so. CONCACAF says 8:30. For Vancouver versus Cartagenas, which I hope Cartagenas keeps it close. Live stream. And then we'll be live for Galaxy Sporting. And we'll review Galaxy Sporting tomorrow. And then, of course, we have the one game on Thursday, Defense Force Philly. Even if it's way over, it's the only game on Thursday, so we'll be live for it. If there's any game that's a dead rubber that would get a lot of views, it's a Trinidadian team playing, isn't it? I know it. I know how this channel works. So, we'll see. With that being said, I'll see you within the hour. 5-0, Nashville beats the hell out of Ottawa. I didn't realize it would get this bad, but it did. I'll see you later. I'm running. I'm out. Peace. See ya.